It's James from the Excire team, and in today's video, I want to talk to you about keywording your photos. Keywording is a great way to ensure that your files are accessible at all times, but manually adding descriptive keywords to each one of your photos can be a real slog. Each new batch of images can take hours to tag, and if you already have a backlog of untagged files, you could be looking at days or even months of tedious work. Fortunately, Excire includes an advanced AI keywording feature, which automatically applies descriptive keywords to every image in your Lightroom Classic catalog so you don't have to. And Excire includes a handy Find by Keyword feature that you can use to rapidly find images in Lightroom Classic, even if they're hidden deep within your catalog. So let's fire up Lightroom and I'll show you how these tools work. First, in order to use the AI keywording features, really before using any of Exire's features, you'll need to make sure that your images are initialized. This tells Excire to analyze each image, and during this process, the state-of-the-art AI will apply keywords automatically. Note that Exire's AI analysis all happens locally on your computer, so it's completely secure. Your images don't get sent to the cloud. In fact, you can initialize your images without internet access. I've created a whole video about getting Excire Search set up in Lightroom, so I won't go into too much detail here in terms of initialization, but if your images haven't yet been initialized, you can do this by going to the Library module in Lightroom, then selecting Library, plug in Extras, Initialize Photos. In this dialog box here, you can check the Transfer Keywords after initialization box if you want Exire's keywords to be added alongside any keywords that you've added manually to Lightroom Classic. In other words, when this option here is checked, you're going to ensure that Exire's keywords, the keywords that Exire's AI adds, are visible in the Lightroom Classic interface and that they can be exported like any standard Lightroom keyword. I like to do this, so I generally leave this checked, but you can always uncheck the box and transfer your keywords sometime after initialization if you want to by selecting this option here. So Library, plug in Extras, and then Transfer Keywords or Transfer Keywords Batched. The basic Transfer Keywords option here, it lets you go through images one by one and decide which Excire keywords to make visible in Lightroom and which to keep hidden behind the scenes. Whereas the batch keyword transfer option here, so transfer keywords batched, this is a lot faster and it's ideal for handling lots of photos at once. You can choose specific keywords to ignore, or you can just transfer all Excire keywords into Lightroom Classic by leaving them in the left-hand column here and then just clicking Start. So anyway, if you do transfer your keywords, you're going to see them in the Lightroom Library module under the keywording panel here on the right-hand side. So with this image, for example, Excire has added quite a few descriptive keywords. It recognizes that we're looking at an image of a man cycling, that he's smiling, that he's wearing sunglasses, that he has some architecture behind him. And note that you can always delete Excire added keywords by ensuring that the Enter Keywords option is selected from the drop-down menu here. And then you simply can just go ahead and double-click on a keyword here and press backspace on your keyboard or delete. You can also add keywords manually in this panel as well. For instance, I think the CN tower is in the background here. So if I wanted to, I could just come and I could say CN tower and then hit enter to add that to the image as a keyword. Now, even with Exire's AI keywording, it can sometimes be useful to add these keywords of your own since Excire Search can't automatically tag an image with a specific location, at least generally speaking, or a person's name. Fortunately, Excire does expedite this manual tagging process, so even that doesn't take as long as it usually would. So if I hit G on my keyboard, I'm going to go back to this collection here. So if I scroll down here, so this picture here, I can take this image and I'm going to run a quick people search in the Excire Search panel here, which I have minimized as a strip here on the right. And by the way, to bring up the Excire Search panel, you're just going to choose Library, Plugin Extras, Open Search Panel, or you can just go ahead and press Alt plus X or Option plus X on a Mac on your keyboard. So I'm going to go select this people search tool, and I have a whole another video on using people search. So if you're interested, just watch that. But I'm just going to go ahead and click start here. And Excire is going to bring up all these different images of the woman whose image I had selected as a reference file. And if I want to add a keyword, so I can just quickly go ahead, highlight them all. I just hit Control and A on my keyboard to just select everything. And then in the keywording panel here, I can come down and I can just go ahead and say Sarah. And I just hit enter, and that keyword is added to all of these different images. And so now all these different images will be keyworded with that name, and then I can use it to find my images again of Sarah. So now you know how to ensure that Excire keywords are added to your Lightroom files, and you know how to ensure that they're visible in the keywording panel. But keywords are only useful if you can search for them. But keywords are primarily useful for searching, so if you can search for them. And fortunately, Excire Search does offer a really robust keyword search tool for that purpose. Just go back to the Excire Search panel here. As I mentioned a moment ago, you're going to choose Library, Plugin Extras, Open Search Panel. Then from the list of Excire Search tools, you're going to just say Search by Keyword here. That's this key icon. And this dialog box is going to pop right up. Now on the left-hand side here, you see a list of keywords. And to find a specific image that you have in mind, you can just select the relevant keywords. You can type a keyword into the quick search box if you want, or you can just click the plus button next to a listed keyword to add it to the search, and you can remove it like that. So for example, if I want to see all of my images that include musical instruments, I can go ahead, hit the musical instruments plus button here, and then I can see, I have 47 photos that have been keyworded by Excire here with musical instrument. But what happens if I want to look for something more specific? So let's say I want to look under animals, but not just animals. I actually want to look for birds. So I'm going to hit the little arrow here to open this up and maybe hit birds, and still quite a few images. So maybe I want to narrow this down even further. I open this up and I want to see pictures that I have here of owls. So I'll add that. And I'm just going to go ahead with this search. I see that I have 82 photos that match the selected keyword. I want to search the whole catalog, though I could look just at the Lightroom film strip if I wanted to. And then I'll hit start and we'll see what we get. So it's exactly what I was looking for, a slew of images from my catalog that show all sorts of different owls. But say that I want to narrow down my search in another way. So I can actually filter by color as well, which is a pretty cool tool for looking for different images. So let me come back here to the Excire Search panel. I'm going to open the Search by Keyword tool. And this time I'm going to get rid of this owl keyword, and I want to look at images of sunsets. So I'm actually just going to type sunset in here, choose the plus button, and I have over 700 images here of sunsets, but I don't just want sunset photos. I actually want red sunsets. So I'm going to select red from the dominant colors option right here. I have now 44 images that are both sunsets and have red as a dominant color. I'll hit start, and then here are the results. As you can see, it's a bunch of red sunset images from which I can just choose the particular one that I had in mind, or just pick a favorite in general. Now, as I'm sure you can imagine, the Excire keyword search comes in handy all the time when you want to find images of a particular type, say photos of sunsets, for example, or even when you have a very specific image in mind that you're looking for. And the automatic keywording capabilities really are a great way to categorize your entire catalog without a tedious manual keywording workflow. So go ahead and give it a try. Make sure that all your images have been initialized, then see if you can retrieve some of your long lost photos from deep within your catalog using the keyword search. Thanks so much for watching, and if you found this video helpful, click that like button. Of course, for more tips and tutorials on Excire's AI-powered photo management tools, subscribe to our channel.